Guys, I wanted to record this video today because I'm so sick and tired of hearing this wherever I go is, oh, well, I showed up today. That's got to count for something, right? Or showing up is half the battle, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. It's not even half the battle. It's not even a percentage of the battle. If my 9-year-old shows up on the basketball court against this guy, against Michael Jordan, the GOAT of GOATs, do you think that showing up mattered? Who do you think's going to win? But so many times, what we're actually afraid of is going all in with intent, is showing up with the intent to win and to work and to learn and to grind and to be the best at anything that we do. And most of us go through the day and we don't show up for anything. We just don't. Oh, well, I did my workout today. Oh, did you? How hard did you go? How many reps did you get every set? How hard did you push? How close to failure did you get? What was your actual workout structure? How do you perform that movement? Yada, 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 all the way down the line. Most people have no clue the answer to any of those things from the workout that they did this morning. And what's the difference? The intent in which you show up. The effort which you give to showing up. And then when you're not showing up for that thing, the effort to learn and grow so that the next time you step into that arena, you are better at the thing than you were the last time. If it's your nutrition, oh, well, I picked foods off the list, or I ate more protein, or I ate healthy. Eating healthy for Michael Phelps is far different than eating healthy for a 50-year-old lady who sits at a fucking desk. Okay? Healthy means nothing. What is the goal you're trying to achieve? What is the physique you're trying to achieve? What is the look you are trying to achieve? And does your nutrition match that? When you're showing up to your job, do you show up to collect your paycheck? Do you show up and do just enough so that you don't get fired and your boss is off your ass? Do you talk shit about the employee who actually goes above and beyond and calls them a brown noser or a kiss ass or boss's pet? You want to know why bosses have pets? Because they're the best fucking person on the team. They do the most shit. The perfect boss would have 100 pets, because every single person would want to do their best, knowing that if they did theirs, there's a plan in place for them to get theirs. Right? You win based on the winning of the company that you keep. Whether you're working for somebody, whether you're in a relationship, whether you have fitness goals, it doesn't matter. And the biggest problem that I see, honestly, every single fucking day, the biggest problem that I see is people don't show up with intent. They don't show up better than they showed up the day before. They don't sit down, evaluate their day, and say, man, I was shitty at this. What could I do to be better? How could I be better at this? Most people have no idea. And if you don't have enough pain as to spur you into change, let me help you. Those fitness goals, that body you want to achieve, that health status you want. How confident are you that you're fucking with the lights on? You get out of the shower, you walk in the other room, and your partner is already aroused because of how amazing you look. When's the last time that happened? Or do the lights have to be off? Better yet, what if you literally sat there and looked in the mirror and said, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. Cool. Why not? What's so meaningful about that it makes you embarrassed by it? What is it? Because I'll tell you what, this is the biggest problem. Most people don't put enough pain in their motivation. They just don't. They focus on, oh, it'd be so nice. They focus on the pleasure side of things. And to be honest, that's not going to get you there. The pain has to. What if you're so repulsive that your partner leaves you? When's the last time you thought about that? When's the last time you looked at yourself and said, my partner should not want to bang me? When's the last time your kids saw you running around and playing with them and said you were the best athlete on the field? When's the last time? Or are you just the fat parent who sits on the side and wheezes in their chair and complains how hot it is and just wants to get the kids home so they can sit on the couch? Which one are you? Put some pain in it. If you're doing a program, you're doing a 6-week challenge, you're doing 75 hard, you're doing any type of, you're trying to run a marathon or an Ironman or whatever your goal is, right? You want to do a show or whatever the fucking million things I hear are. What is your process for doing that? When is the last time that you said you were going to do those things, you set a date, you booked the event, you started it, you worked it, you finished it? Need some pain to go with that? Ask your kids when the last time that you finished something you started was. See what they say. Do your kids look at you as a superhero or full of shit? The reason that we have an obesity epidemic in our children is because we have obesity epidemic in the parent. Show me a fat parent and I'll show you a fat kid. Unless the exception to the rule comes, which is the kid is so embarrassed and turned off by the way that their parents act that they go in the complete opposite direction. Trust me, I know what that looks like. I know what every problem that I just talked about, from being repulsed by your spouse, from being embarrassed about how fat your parent was, I know what that's like. That's me. In your career, when's the last time that you showed up to get better at your job? I don't care if you're a waitress. I don't care if you're a bartender. I don't care if you're a trainer. I don't care if you sell insurance. I don't care if you're an executive. When's the last time you went home and said, man, I did good at these things today. I changed this person, this person, this person. But man, if I was better, I could have saved this person. You know what we do? In my gyms, just the ones that I own, I've helped in the last 8 years people lose over 500,000 documented fucking pounds. I'm one of the best on the planet at helping people lose fat. My program's not different. My program's not amazing. I don't have some secret shot or sauce or bullshit Band-Aid to stick in your tummy. Do you know what the difference is? I care. I out-care you into caring about yourself. That's the only thing. Because over the 8 years, the only constant has been me. Well, Aaron, that's very braggadocious. You couldn't do anything without a team. No shit. But the leader leads and the team performs as the leader goes. So unless you've had somebody there every step of the way with you from the very first day till now, you're the constant. It's not bragging to say what I've done. When I was a waiter or when I was bussing tables, I was a porter, I would bring food and clean up shit. Bring food, clean up shit. Bring food, clean up shit. I would do it so hard and so fast with one other guy, my buddy Sean at the restaurant, that I ended up getting promoted to waiter. And then I ended up getting promoted to bartender. And then basically at that point, when the boss would leave, I would be the one that people would ask questions to. I would be the one that people would go to when they had problems. And you know why that is? Because they knew that I was there to help them do the best that they could so that I could make the most money I could. I took that into video games. I took that into personal training. I took that into bodybuilding when I won a natural show. I've taken that into business. And you know how I got there? Is because I stopped pitying myself of all the bullshit that I've been through in my life. And you know why? Because the truth of the matter is I've lived in my fucking car. I had 0 people who wanted to take me in because I was such a piece of shit. And I was an absolute drug and alcohol addict. No one could stand me. All of my best friends hated my guts. Irreparable damage to some of those relationships. But here's the truth, guys. Here's the truth. I've been there. I've failed at killing myself. 15 years later, has it all been wins? No. Am I a great man? No. Am I a million times better than that pile of trash who is addicted to coke and alcohol, sleeping in his car, who couldn't even fucking kill himself? Couldn't even figure out how to do that. Yes, I'm a million times better than him. Do I have a million more miles to go? 100%. We're all human. If you've never fucked up, you can throw the first stone comment. Go ahead. Rip me up. I'll wait. Because unless Jesus fucking Christ is in the comments, it ain't you. And what I want you to take away from this, what I want you to understand, is how to get better at anything. You evaluate your day, you sit down, and now we have something that's never been around in history for you to use. And I don't care what anybody thinks about AI. Right now, it is one of the most useful tools on planet Earth. It makes Google searching a breeze. If you want to get better and you think you suck at sales, go into ChatGPT and ask that bitch, hey, who are the best people who have ever done sales? And how could those people teach me? See what comes up. If you want to learn form on a curl, or how to be a great personal trainer, or how to be a great server, or how to be great at wherever you are, you can go literally type that in, and you will go find resources that will make you better and skill sets that will make you better. So when you show up tomorrow, you're 1% better. And 365 days from now, you're 3.5 times as good as you were today. And we have, I don't care what your political beliefs are, the last administration was complete garbage. They've been selling America down the fucking drain. And I think we have an opportunity at some point within the next 6 to 12 months where things are going to turn around. They're going to turn around quick. And we're going to have an opportunity to create absolute monstrous lives for ourselves. But if you wait until time starts to get good, or the right time, or the perfect moment, you're never going to do it. If you're waiting to learn how to be great until you're on your own, when you work for somebody else, you're going to be a loser the rest of your life. I've seen this. I've had the privilege of having some of the greatest trainers on earth work for me. I built most of them. Most of them I found selling fucking Nikes or nomading home from college or doing nothing with their life. And I found them and turned them into fucking monsters. Because I, like this man, knew they had more in them. And if they were on my team, I was going to push them to win. I was going to push them further than they wanted to be pushed. But the biggest thing that I see is so many people go, oh, I'm going to start this thing on my own, and I'm going to go all in on that. Going all in is a muscle that if you've never used is atrophied and you won't be able to do it. Ask me how I know. Ask me how many people have left as coaches and said, I'm going to go be great. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go create this, create that, blah, 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 blah. You know what they fucking do? Nothing. Why? Because to go all in takes muscle. It's a muscle. You have to practice it. And what better way to practice than on someone else's fucking dime? You want to know how I was able to do what I did from the moment I moved down to South Florida? You want to know how I was able to do it? I put 3.5 years in learning, getting a PhD in how to do it from one of the best in the business, my brother from another mother, Matt, who I grew up with, who was my peer, who was in the same grade as me, who was my best friend growing up, who I was fitter than. I didn't use all those things against him. I said, wait, what we're building is great. What's he great at? Man, I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to work 100 hours a week. I don't give a fuck. And then when I moved down to Florida, I didn't know how to get from day 0 to day 1. But you know what I did know? I knew day 1 like a motherfucker. I knew that any floor I stepped on, I was the baddest man on that fucking floor. I'm the greatest trainer to ever walk in group training. Period. I've got more hours on the floor. I've got more experience. I've got $500,000 invested into myself in personal education from mentors worth billions and billions of dollars. I did that. I've read hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books and took dozens and dozens of courses to make myself a fucking monster. I can step on any floor in any gym and beat anyone's ass, period, on the planet. And I don't say that to be cocky. I say that because I know it, because I've done it. And no one has the investment in themselves that I do, because all I want to do is get 1 fucking percent better. So whether it's good times or bad, I'm going to get 1% better. Whether it's spring, harvest season, or winter, I'm going to get 1% better. Because at some point, shit's going to get great. And there's going to be 2 people. There's going to be people who have been working and working and working and working and working on bettering themselves. And then there's going to be people who wait to get started until that time comes. And those people are never going to win because they didn't understand that it's a muscle and you have to work it and you have to train it and you have to want it every fucking single day. That is what it is. That is all life is. Can I evaluate my day at the end, and how can I get 1% better at the shit that I want to get 1% better at? And I could give you a million resources that might help you, but here's the truth. The truth is if you don't learn how to teach yourself, asking someone else is never going to be the most beneficial thing, because no one else has walked in your shoes. No one else knows what you've been through. No one else knows what you're going through right fucking now. They don't know your past. They don't know your struggles. They don't know what shit that's hurt you and broke you and you had to crawl out of. None of them fucking know it. Only you do. But the one skill that transcends all of that is learning to learn. And we weren't taught that in school. We were taught to regurgitate. We weren't taught how to find answers to real world problems. How do I become better at sales? How do I become better at leadership? How do I become better at fitness? How do I become better at nutrition? How do I become better at management? How do I become better at team building? How do I become better at marketing? Anything you want to know, you have the availability to go learn, because you have a phone in your hand. And the last thing I want to leave you with is this. The last thing. There's 7.5 billion people out there on this planet. Someone has it worse than you. You want to know how I know? Because they didn't get to watch this video on their fucking smartphone. They had to walk 3 miles with a cut on their leg that's going to get infected and they're going to die, so they can get water and some grass to feed their starving fucking child in some third world country, hoping that somebody with a machete doesn't come by and chop their fucking head off. So if you ain't in last place, you got something to be grateful for, and you got something to be thankful for. It's perspective. We live in America, damn it. I do, at least. I think it's the greatest country on the planet, and I think it's going to be the greatest country on the planet. I've watched my family struggle. I've watched what happens when you're a piece of shit. I've watched what it does to kids. I've been experienced in that. I've done every mistake that you could possibly do. I am not a good man. But I've learned this. And learning this has netted my companies that I own over the last 8 years well over 20 million fucking top line dollars. And I've invested every single one of them into my team, into my family, into my clients, and into my community. Because when I tried to kill myself, I was left without a scratch. I slammed into the back of a horse trailer, going 80 miles an hour in the ice. I did it on a road where there was trees lined on the sides of the road so that if the trailer didn't kill me, I would at least slam into the trees and finish the fucking job. I was in a work car, a little tiny Ford Focus. I was in a work car. One of the reasons I've driven Ford almost ever since. I smashed into the back of that car, and you know what happened? I slammed into trees, completely totaled the car, spun, flipped, lodged the car in between trees. Car was completely totaled. I was high, I was drunk. The next thing I remember, a cop knocks on the window. Sir, are you okay? Are you okay? Gets me out of the car. I go sit in the he says, go sit in my front passenger seat. I got to take care of some stuff. Are you okay? I said, yeah, I think I'm good. Looked me over. I didn't have a fucking bruise. I didn't have a scratch on my body. God put me here for a reason. So every time I do something, my goal is maybe this is the reason. So when I do this video, I think to myself, maybe this was the reason. Maybe this was. But I think the bigger thing is this. I talked about the 500,000 pounds that my company has helped people lose just in the gyms that I own, not including any franchises, not including anything else, not including anywhere I worked before, just the gyms that I owned in the last 8 years. I don't care about any of that. You know what I care about? You know what I'm looking for? A couple months back, or about a month back, we got our 15th email. We got our 15th private message that said, hey, I was going to kill myself till I came here. 15 of those. So while the accolades are cool, while the money's great, while the community give that's awesome, while building these coaches' careers and status and everything else is amazing and getting all these accolades and attention and people who either talk shit or they love me or they hate me, at least they talk about blah, 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 all of that. None of it matters. You know what I care about? How much better do I have to be to find 16? Where's 16? Where's the 16th person that's going to kill themselves that I'm not good enough yet to save? And how many people have I let go that God intended me to save by not taking advantage of the gifts he gave me earlier and honing those gifts into a weapon? That is what pushes me every day.